Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. I've got some new products to share with you today from Gina K Designs and a very sunny and beachy card. That project is coming up next. Here's a look at the products I'll be using today, and this is called Tropical Sunshine, and it's just a very beachy, ocean-themed set, very much designed to send a little happiness and sun. I've got this cool stencil that has both the wave side and the beach side and that cool sunset opening. Plus there are dies for a greeting, some floral blooms, and some palm trees. So these are the basics, and this is what I'm going to use today. But first we're going to get started with a little bit of ink blending. So I'm taking my Stampin' Stencil Mat, and this is what I'm going to place my cardstock down onto. This is just Neenah Solar White Classic Crest in the 110 pound. I'm going to position my little circle sunset thingy right in the center, and I'm going to mask off the part that I want to protect because what I'm going to do is create a sunset up top. So I'm cleaning off my brush with my paper towel, as I am wont to do. I don't really ever do anything fancy, but that seems to be enough, and I'm going to bring in Peach Bellini. I'm going to tap a little off just to see what the color looks like and make sure my brush was cleaned off well enough, and then I'll start blending. Now these little slats for the sunny sky, they're very delicate, so once I started going back and forth I realized I wanted to be a little more gentle with this so that I did not go underneath the slats. So then I sort of went into this sweeping back and forth motion to blend on the color, which seemed to work really well to keep those slats in place. Next, I'm bringing in medium carnation because I'm going for that sort of pink purpley sunset. So I'm doing the same sweeping motion, bringing that color in and onto the cardstock and blending over where the Peach Bellini was to create a nice transition area. The final color up top is going to be light orchid, and I wanted this to be my purple for the sunset. And we're bringing that in. Those were a little easier to blend over because they were thicker, so I went back to more of a circular motion. Then when I peel and reveal, take the masking tape off and repositioned because what I want to do is isolate the beach. So I'm bringing in Sandy Beach, and could there be a better, more aptly named color? I think not. Sandy Beach for the beach. We're just blending it on, keeping it very simple. And a little darker at the bottom. And there we have my little grounding area for my card. Now to get the cardstock off one of these sticky mats, you just bend the mat until most of the card releases, and then you can peel it right off and not bend your cardstock at all. Time to move on. I'm positioning my palm trees where I want them, and we're going to do this beautiful silhouette stamp technique because it's such a cool way to take a design and just really make it pop. Now I'm wiping this off a little to prime it. New stamps, they have a coating, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. I'm using Onyx Black from Gina K, and I'm going to ink this up really well, but you can even see on the stamp, because it's so new, the ink can bead. Now over time, as stamps get more and more conditioned, this will not be an issue at all. So often in my videos, I use brand new stamps, but that's the beauty of having a tool like the Misti, because all you need to do, ink it up, stamp it again. You think it needs to be darker, ink it up, stamp it again. And of course, you're stamping in the exact same place every time, which is the magic of this tool. All right. Now I'm going to add a few little seagulls I thought would be cute up top. So again, stamping those in black ink, giving those a little prime as well. I thought they were very cute just to create my simple scene. I'll transfer those to have two at the top and go ahead and ink it up again and just stamp them to deepen up the black ink color. I added one more seagull off to the left there so that I would have 3 repeating. Isn't that cute? Now comes the fun. I've got this panel already trimmed down in Kraft Cardstock, and I'm taking one of Gina's large circle dies and cutting a hole in the panel that is going to fit perfectly over the scene that I've created. Just running that through my Gemini Junior, and we've got our craft piece. I can pop this out and you can see how nicely it frames. Now, the background doesn't line up perfectly. That's okay. We're going to cut that down because I just want this to be behind the panel before I pop it up. So I'm going to line this up perfectly, put a piece of low-tack tape to hold the pieces together, and then just take some dot runner, put it on the back, and line that up onto my note card, which I've already prepped, and press. And that way I know when I go to pop up my little craft panel, it's going to fit perfectly over my scene. I've got foam tape on the back of that panel. I mean, this would be really cute for a shaker too. I thought about it briefly, but then I was like, you know what? Sometimes you gotta say when it comes to a shaker. But it would have been really cute to add some sort of like, I don't know, sandy sequins down there or something, but I thought this would be fun just as is. I die cut a few more pieces and I am going to glue all of these together. I just used some of Gina's black Onyx and I'm gluing together 2 of the shadow layers for the word sunshine just to give it a little more stability. Then I'll add my liquid glue onto the back of the delicate die cut and position that as well. Now it's a little hard to see here, but the liquid glue does help you to have that little bit of wiggle room. And then I'll put another layer of liquid glue on top of the matte gold cardstock sunshine and glue it all together like this for a really pretty greeting. And that cardstock is from Simon Says Stamp, but I love that. Then I went ahead and glued together the palm trees as well. Again, 2 layers, right? And I got them glued together for some dimension, figured out the positioning here. And you know, palm trees can be wonky. I don't know if you've ever been to the tropics. I mean, I guess I've been, I don't even remember the last time, but palm trees, they're gonna stick wherever they wanna go. So I actually thought this looked really cool. Glued the top off to the side, and what's cool too is it's coming out of the background into the foreground, and I love doing that on any design. I think it's really cool. It adds some dimension and fun. Now I'll just position sunshine, and I decided to stamp a small greeting on some of the black cardstock that I had die cut one of my little palms out of, powdering it up with the anti-static powder and inking it up with the Versamark. This is just a little tiny greeting that's going to add the perfect way to finish off the card. I'm sprinkling on some of the fine detail gold powder, tapping it off. Then I'll get my heat tool warmed up after I put my powder away. All right, I just funnel it right back into the jar, and here we go. Quickly melt the powder, and now I have a pretty little sunshiny of my life. Once it's cool, I'll take an e-cloth and just wipe away all of that extra anti-static powder. I've got the Gina K Design cinnamon strip dies, and the smallest one is a perfect fit to cut out this little sub-greeting. I'll tape that into place and cut it out. I also cut out an extra one of the same shape so that I could glue both the sentiment and one more layer together, again to have that same dimension that the greeting above has as well. I'm adding my liquid glue to the back of the shadow layer so that I'll have that little bit of wiggle room, placing it down, and I thought I'd bring in the ruler, although I didn't really, I noticed there, well, it's not completely straight, but you know, sometimes you just go for it. But it was straight for here, so popping down of my life, bringing the ruler in, just a little nudge there, and that is perfectly centered and straight. To finish off this card, I thought some gold confetti style sequins, cup side down, would be great for this card, and I'm just gluing them down with a little dab and boop, 2 more at the bottom, boop, and the final boop. Oh, no, boop. There we go. You have to say it with a high pitch or it doesn't work. And that's the finished card project. I love how this turned out. It's summery, it's earthy, and it turned out, well, it turned out pretty dang beachy. You can find links to all the supplies I used in today's video below in the YouTube description box. I'll see you back here with another card project soon. To see a few more projects featuring products from Gina K Designs, check out the 2 thumbnails I have linked for you below, and I'll see you in those videos.